Hey guys, sorry, it's me, Finn. Welcome to the Movie Fanatics, the 3 Minute Mic podcast. That's what we're doing. This has been a wacky couple episodes recently. So let's jump right into the next wacky episode, boys. I'm Finn, as you know. I have 3 Minute Mic attire on. That's Michael, Brannick, and Braden. We're all waving. We're having a fun time. I've had a lot of Coke, if you can't tell. But yeah, we're just like ready to start a podcast. Let's start right off with drink of choice. Let's start
a Coca-Cola.
I was gonna say let's start off with Michael. Okay, let him start off.
All right, let me start. Guys, I have bad news. I need to make a sincere apology because unfortunately I ran out of blue raspberry ice.
No!
Now, I understand that I could have just gotten like a normal drink, like water or soda, but instead I decided to replace it with nothing. I had this empty can of blue raspberry ice from last time that I did not throw away. But
yeah,
I don't
Michael.
have what, Brannick?
It was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you're right. That was recent. That was from today. No, but like, don't even worry about it.
Why didn't you just use it for the podcast? Why didn't you save it today?
Because I had it. I mean, I had it today, but like, it was from Brannick. Why don't you go? I don't have a drink. That's my segment.
Could have put another drink in that can. We would have been none the wiser.
Yeah, but I would have been, and I would have felt bad for lying to our audience.
Michael, why didn't you just take some raspberries, dye them blue, and then put some ice in there? Boom, blue raspberry ice.
That's not the drink, Finn. Gosh.
Wow.
Jeez Louise.
I got a Sprite.
Did I ask
I got
Brandon?
a Coke.
I got a Big K Diet Cola, which is basically Diet Cola, but not Diet Cola.
I'm hearing a lot of lack of blue raspberry ice, and that's my issue with it. That's my issue with this episode. You know what? I'm gonna keep bringing that up throughout the episode.
Okay.
That I don't, because I don't have my blue raspberry ice, and that's an issue for everyone.
It is. It is.
All right, let's move on to that next segment.
Next segment today is personal news.
News.
Let's start right off with Michael. You got any personal news?
Yeah, I don't have blue raspberry ice. Also, I cut my finger on a blender blade. I was taking it out of the dishwasher. And I cut it.
No.
It doesn't feel
Those things
good.
are sharp, man.
Yeah, that's why I have a cut on my finger, Braden.
Why were you holding it by the blade?
I didn't mean to. The blade was there. So yeah, I have a cut on my finger. And there's a Band-Aid on it, as you can see. And I don't have blue raspberry ice. So that's been my week.
Fair enough.
Brannick?
Well, I'm a nerd, so I do the academic team at school, and that means that I have to wake up early on Saturday sometimes. But tomorrow is a district competition, and I'm gonna take a test. And Michael doesn't have a blue raspberry ice, which is the more exciting.
That's the biggest issue.
Now let's move on to Finn.
All right.
I like that shirt you got there, Brannick.
Yeah, Brannick, that shirt makes you
Thanks.
look. Right.
I made it
Brannick,
myself.
that was a joke. Do you have any more personal news?
Yep, I made the shirt by myself, and I'm wearing it now.
He sewed it with the threads given to him by
Jesus.
God.
Yeah, let's just get religious.
I am God.
No.
Just kidding.
Right.
It was a very good gift for my friend Finn. He's
Yeah,
in
if you watched the last episode, you know that.
Yeah, you non-last episode watcher. Come on, watch it. Go watch it right now. Personal news. I don't really have any personal news really. I mean, like, it is, what time is it, boys? Are we allowed to say that on the podcast?
No, strictly forbidden.
So it's around 10:30 at night. It's 10:25. But the plan was to start at 9:30.
Is this personal news, Finn?
Yeah, I'm getting to it, Braden.
Sounds pretty
Anywho,
personal to me.
And then I had to like eat dinner and stuff, and I ate dinner and I ate Greek food, and it was actually kind of mediocre. It wasn't my favorite. But when I went to like get on the meeting, the old podcast, my Wi-Fi decided to like have a seizure. So that's why it's 10:30, if you wanted to know. I'm gonna have some, and Michael doesn't have blue raspberry ice, which is sad. And now I'm gonna have some Big K Diet Cola. Braden?
I don't know about that, Finn. Why did you leave the meeting once you joined?
Honestly, Finn.
My computer turned off. I don't know why.
Oh yeah.
Well, it
Okay.
looks like the circus is missing a clown.
Anyway,
Looks like the candy
my
shop
personal
missing
news.
an airhead.
That's my other line, Finn, and you can't use it.
Okay.
That's
Anyway, my personal news. Well, for starters, Michael does not have his blue raspberry ice. Second, Michael does not have his blue raspberry ice.
This is my favorite bit.
And third, Michael does not have his blue raspberry ice. But then
Yeah.
on top of that, today I found out that Michael does not have his blue raspberry ice, so I am in distress. That's my personal news. Oh, and Michael does not have his blue raspberry ice.
Yeah.
You're talking about it. You're drinking it right now.
Yeah, what are you talking about? I have a whole can of blue raspberry ice.
Brady,
As you can see, it's illuminated. And it tastes like nothing. I'm not happy about it. All right, let's go. What even is the next topic? Who cares?
It's movie news.
You know, I'm done.
It's my bit. It's
Too much.
my bit.
All right, Braden. Get us
I
with
look
it.
at my blue raspberry.
Movie news. Well,
I have a blue raspberry ice too, Michael.
I feel like I've been saying this since November, but Scream 5
2?
actually came out. Scream 5 actually came out last week, I think. Last Friday, I think it came out, and I'm gonna see it hopefully soon. I'm excited about that. Other than that, don't know what else. Oh, and it is the 60th anniversary of the James Bond series. Well, 2022 as a whole marks 60 years of Bond, so that's awesome. So I'm going to be doing lots of Bond stuff on the channel, so that's kind of both an update for the channel. Anyway,
do you know what it's also the 60-year anniversary for
Scream 5, baby.
It's definitely the 60th anniversary for something. I'm gonna say the Bond series.
That's neat.
Yeah,
I just said that.
Hey
I
guys,
just said
did you know that it's the Bond anniversary?
Finn,
It's
not funny.
2022 is the 60th year of Bond. I just
said
Did you
that.
know that
I just said
Scream
that.
is the #1 movie in America right now?
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, did you know that We Don't Talk About Bruno from Encanto is close to...
Okay, let's move on.
No, I want to hear this.
No,
It's close to being it's currently like tied with Can't You Feel the Love Tonight. It's like number 4 on the hot 100. I figured out what his name was. It's number 4 currently, and it's like soon it's gonna surpass Can't You Feel the Love Tonight, as well as the other one that it's tied with. There's one more, and then the number 1 Disney movie ever is A Whole New World, and it's like quickly gonna pass that. Like if it keeps going at the rate it is.
So what I'm
I
hearing
don't
is
think it's gonna surpass Can You Feel the Love Tonight. I
But what I'm-
highly doubt that.
Hey, Braden, it's like tied with it currently. It is at the same area. It will.
Yeah, but
So what I'm
No, no.
hearing is number one movie, Scream. Number one song, We Don't Talk About Bruno. Number one issue right now, I don't have my blue
It doesn't
raspberry
have
ice.
blue raspberry ice.
yes.
Wow.
Pretty much.
All right.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm trying to steal the title of the episode. I'm gonna make this the title. Something about me not having blue raspberry ice.
Hey guys,
thinking
if it's not
Like love, Michael.
guys, if
I'm
it's
trying
not-
to take that as my own.
we don't scream about blue raspberry ice because Michael doesn't have any. That's a title episode right there.
Yeah, one thing that I noticed though is that it's much easier to come up with a title when there's like a reoccurring bit in the episode. So, or like when there's something that we joke about that's like funny, so I don't have to like go back or rewatch and be like, that was funny, I'm gonna make that the title. So here's my theory. If I make my own thing, like the fact that I don't have blue raspberry ice, that's an easy title opportunity.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing.
Michael was
So,
thinking,
ooh, no blue raspberry ice. Rats.
dang it.
Should we get to
Wait,
trivia?
but we're not. Oh wait, but we're not sponsored, so we can't make ice part of our title. Oh no.
Blue raspberry frozen water.
All right, we'll have to come up with another bit. Brandon, hit us with that trivia.
Hey Brandon, hit us with that
Michael's
trivia real
missing
quick.
beverage.
Michael's
The worst episode.
How are we already running out of time?
Are we already running? Oh my god.
No, we've been on this meeting for like 800 years because Finn didn't join. But I
Yeah,
think
I hope we all know that I'm not cutting any of this out.
Perfect.
This is gonna be another episode 5.
What episode is this, Brannick?
it's episode 10, which episode 5 was the best episode, and because of the lack of blue raspberry ice, this episode will be called worst episode.
That would be funny. That can be the title. I think that'll be the title. All
no,
right,
but then people will watch
just
it.
with that trivia.
Brannick, hit us with
All right, I
trivia.
guess we'll. How much time? Wait, did
We
it
have
say
10.
how much?
We got time for trivia, Brannick. Come on.
Yeah, we have time for trivia.
Got time for trivia. We always got time for trivia.
How long do we have left on the meeting?
Hey, Brannick, we got
10
time.
minutes, 9 minutes.
And 3
Just enough
seconds.
time for trivia.
We can get through trivia by then. I don't have it on
Yeah.
an index card this week, but I do have it on my phone. 'Cause I
That's
typed
so
it when I didn't have
special.
an index card. All right,
That's what I have
Trivia.
on my phone.
trivia for episode 10. All right, guys, brace yourselves. All right, question 1 or uno. If you're from Spanish-speaking country or just speak Spanish, you will know that that means question 1. Question 1. Which Mario game first had 4 distinct playable characters? I don't know. Yes, I do. Question 2. Which planet of our solar system is the hottest? I don't know, but maybe I do. And question 3. Which horror movie has the tagline, "It doesn't think, it doesn't feel, it doesn't give up"? Stick that in your skillet, let it simmer, and
That's me flipping a
What's our topic?
pancake.
Oh, it landed
All right.
on the ceiling.
all right. So are you just
Finn,
gonna
you're the
start-
host. Tell us the topic.
Folks, the topic of this episode is, drum roll please. Hey guys, what was the topic?
It's movies versus books adaptation.
Oh yeah, movies versus books. Yes.
Adaptation. That's right, Brandon. Fix that Funko Pop.
I made very. Oh, I hit the desk so hard that I knocked over the Funko Pop for the drum roll. And Finn
Who's
did
that of?
it.
Is that me?
It's Jack Torrance, right?
Jack Torrance, right?
It's Jack Torrance, right?
Michael, you're right.
Good job, Michael.
2 points for trivia. To me.
Woo-hoo! Michael starts off with a bonus 2, which means he's already won.
Wait, no, bonus
Hey, let's
4, so I
talk
can
about-
guarantee that.
Michael,
one.
just get the first trivia question right and you win. Brannick, what were the other 2 trivia questions? I only remember the one about Mario.
We'll
Well,
get
you'll
to that
get it
later, Finn.
on.
Jeez.
It's
Relax,
the 10th
my man.
episode.
Yeah, this
Oh
is
wait, I
kind
didn't
of.
explain the rules for trivia. If you're new here, write them in the comments below if you want to play along at home, and then we'll ask the questions again later, and then people will answer. I just
Oh,
kind of
no,
got
great.
used to the fact that y'all all know that, but I forgot that they're
Brayden's gone.
That's
No.
No,
Braden is missing. That's like Mario is missing, which is the first Mario game ever.
true.
Sorry, guys.
Maybe. I don't know.
I had to leave first.
It's not true. I don't think
Yeah.
Mario is missing even as about. I think it's a Luigi game.
Yeah, it's because Luigi is like the main. He has to like find Mario. I don't remember. I prefer Hotel
That's a
Mario,
real
which
game.
I think.
Wait,
Yeah.
I have to figure this out. Is this a real game?
So I
Yes.
think movies and book adaptations are like cool, kind of, but also like they can not be, but they also could be.
What I like the funny part about a book or an adaptation of a movie version of a book story is that here's the fun part. A book can be pretty long. Like the Harry Potter books, the Order of the Phoenix, that's like a 700-page long book, and you have to condense all of that plot like a 2.5-hour movie at the most, or less, or more, but like less. So that's the good part, because you're probably going to miss out on some details, and that's where like the whole book is better thing comes from, which isn't always true, but it's sometimes true. I definitely think the Harry Potter books are much better than the movie. But the problem with those movies in particular were that the books were still being written as the movies were being made, which is dumb. I think they should have let the series end in book form, because things that were like set up in earlier books that were more significant in later books, when those later books hadn't been written. So it's like a major plot point will get skipped over because it was minor in one book before becoming major in the next. So in a movie, it's like doesn't even exist, and then in the next movie, it's there because they didn't add it because they didn't think it would be significant.
Hey, Brayden,
And also,
Brayden, can you give me an example of that?
What?
Can you give me an example of that?
Yeah, I was going to.
Spoilers for Harry Potter.
Max, but I don't think like Rowling, like she claimed she had a plan. I don't know about that. One of them is, I'm just going to name it. If you will get nothing out of this, if you like, they kind of set this up. So basically, a character has a wand, and it's the Elder Wand, and that comes into play in the later books. And I believe it's like there's like something about it in book 6. Wait, I'm thinking of a different thing. This is just a small like, all right, that's a detail that a character had. I'm just gonna say it. A character died. He was buried with his wand, and then in the movie he did not have his wand was like shown outside of the coffin, and then in the next movie it was in the coffin again. But a bigger example is that Horcruxes weren't very well focused on in the 6th movie, and they were very major in the 7th book. And because that's an issue in itself. But I don't know, the later Harry Potter movies are very messy. I think there was just too much plot in those books to put in a movie. Yeah, I think the Deathly Hallows is all right because they split it into 2, but they probably need to do that for a couple books to fit the whole story in. I was all over the place, and I don't think I gave a very good example, but I really can't think of one off of the top of my
They have
head.
to have like 14 Harry Potter movies, or else Harry Potter is just like, I'm a guy with a wand. Oh, but like now I'm actually part of an evil guy's like spirit or something. I don't really know. No one really knows.
Bro, I'm thinking of like
That's Harry
making a
Potter.
whole video about some things in the movies that disappointed me because they were so much better in the books. But that's another topic.
So as you can see, we cut real quick, and I remembered that this was the 10th episode, and I had to dress up fancy for it. So I put on a tie. Then Finn stole my idea, and he also
Yeah,
put on
because
a
I had a
tie.
tie like right next to me, and I was like, tie. So,
Yeah, but if you notice the difference, mine I tied myself while his is pre-tied. So
Yeah.
and plus penguins are like the tuxedos of the animal world. So I'm looking better. Anyways, back to the topic. I think like movies versus like book adaptations are all like very like they're interesting topics, because most people would say that like book adaptations are better. Well, like usually the original, like usually it's like a movie adaptation that's based on a book. I don't know if I've seen like a book adaptation on a movie, but
I have, but they're all bad.
well, yeah, but
Not
like
all of them, but most.
a lot of people would say that like the book is better than the movie, and like for the most part that's true. But there's one situation, and like I don't know, but then there are a couple of situations that are like where the movie is like interesting in a way that like I don't know. This is kind of changing it a little bit, but like movies is an interesting way to like make a story by like about a book, especially if the book is like a multiple story, like multiple books. Because for example, like the Percy Jackson movies,
You were gonna
they're
bring this.
they're based on like books, but like because the movies aren't like guaranteed to make every to like I can't talk today. But because like the movies weren't guaranteed to like do the full story, they kind of just like ended it on a cliffhanger and then they never followed it up.
Am I
So
one of those people that like prefers Toy Story 4 and the Percy Jackson films?
I didn't say I preferred the Percy Jackson film. Well, technically I do because I haven't read the books. But actually no, the movies aren't bad, and I don't care what anyone says. I enjoyed them. There was the cool scene in the casino where like Poker Face is playing and they're like playing games, and that's a fun scene. They fight Medusa, and I enjoyed the movie. Sue me. But like, uh, I don't know. I just don't. But one part that I didn't like about it was that the second movie, spoiler alert, it ends on a cliffhanger. I'm not going to tell you what it is though, because that'd be an actual spoiler. But then they never made a third one. So it's just like, what do you do with that? Nothing. My goodness. This is all, this is, like this, like the sequel business is all just a lot, you know. I'm,
Yeah.
I may not be the movie fanatic to explain it, but I'm the movie fanatic we have. Brannick or Braden, do you have any opinions on anything?
Yeah, yeah. So I've never really read a ton of like books that were made into movies, but I've
Oh,
read like a lot about like changes that were made. And actually, a couple years ago, I started to read Jurassic Park. I got about halfway through, and now I love the, the film Jurassic Park, but the book I got about halfway through, and it was really boring. And there was a ton of stuff that was either not in the movie or completely changed. And I think Spielberg took a lot of things out and changed things for the better, because I got about like halfway through the book and they had just now gotten to the T-Rex stuff. And in the movie, that's like on about an hour, but it doesn't feel like an hour. I just think Spielberg had tightened everything a lot cleaner, and the story feels more cohesive. Like the entire how Jurassic Park starts in the film is way better than how Jurassic Park the book starts. It's completely different. Like there's not even like one thing that's similar. Like everything's completely different, which I think is for the better. But another thing I want to talk about is the James Bond books versus the movies. Now, I'm going to touch on one change that that actually made the film better, and the film is The Spy Who Loved Me. A really solid Bond film. Now, there's a scene in the book where Bond and the Bond girl meet for like one of like the first times, and Bond is attacked. And now in the film, the scene plays out much of the way the same, but Bond just fights off his couple attackers and just kind of moves on. In the book, it's a full-on torture sequence. And the way the scene plays out in the film is a lot better than how they did it in the book. Because I just think it would have not been correct with the vibe of the movie. So yeah, that's a pretty big difference between the book The Spy Who Loved Me and the movie The Spy Who Loved Me. And I think it was very interesting and smart on the filmmakers' part that they changed that. So yeah,
I think there were books.
I think it's crazy that this is the first time that I'm learning that both Jurassic Park and James Bond were based off of books.
Yep.
Nice.
I didn't know that.
If you watch any of the James Bond like title sequences, like the first thing is the actor's name as Ian Fleming's James Bond. And Ian Fleming is the author of the Bond books.
I just assumed that was like the director or something.
No, it was the author of the Bond books.
Fair
Yeah.
Who died after only seeing 2 Bond films, and that was the first 2 Bond movies because he died in 1964.
Mm.
I think I don't know what he died of, but he passed away a long time ago.
Meatloaf died today.
Yeah, I heard about that.
That was sad. He sang "I Would Do Anything for Love," which is a good song. Da, 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 da. Yeah, he died because of COVID, which is really sad.
How this gets so somber so quick? I just mentioned that an author of a book that died over 60 years ago died, and now we're talking about
My tie kind of looks like a Colonel Sanders type thing.
Yeah, honestly.
Sure does, doesn't
But
it?
yeah, that was my rambling about Jurassic Park and James Bond.
Rennick, which do you prefer? A book adaptation of a movie or a movie adaptation of a book?
Or a movie out of no. That's weird. I mean, I haven't read many book adaptations of movies. I think I read bits and pieces of the Force Awakens novelization, but other than that, nothing comes to mind very quick. So I could really have an opinion on that. But in terms of like, I don't know, I am of the belief that normally like 9 times out of 10 of my book original is better than subsequent sequels or reboots or remakes, and that goes for like, I don't know, I'm a sucker for the source material rather than the adaptation normally. I think sometimes movies can take. Sometimes I think they're on the same level. I think the Harry Potter movies, like I said earlier, they're kind of a mess, but I think they're great overall. I do still prefer the books, but I mean, it's like it's like apples and oranges. I feel like they're like the exact opposite because books are they're so driven by the imagination, and film is such a visual, what you see kind of a medium. It's just a different style. And I mean, sometimes like you might be disappointed if when you imagined a certain scene in the movie and it's not there if you imagine it in the book and then in the movie it's not there, or it's different how you imagine it, and it can be disappointing. But I don't know. I think both have their pros and both have their cons.
Yeah, I'm actually in the middle. I'm actually almost done with reading the book Blade Runner, which was written in the late 70s or early 80s, I think, which is the source stuff for both of the Blade Runner films. Now, I have not seen the second one, but I'm a big fan of the first movie. And like reading the book, I can actually see where a lot of these sequences from the first film came from, and they're switched. But even though that the book is completely different in many ways, I'm actually enjoying it as much as I do the movie, which is kind of odd. But maybe I'm just a Blade Runner fan, but I think it's odd that I'm actually enjoying the book as much as the movie, which is interesting because even though it's completely different, it's like the same like basic plot, but there's a lot of things that are completely different.
Yeah, sometimes like when you watch a movie, once you want to go back and read the source material. Have any of you guys ever done something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I've been doing on Blade Runner.
Yeah.
I don't read much. Like, I don't know. So like, plus a lot of the big ones that you hear like were based off of books, like Hunger Games and like Harry Potter. I haven't seen the movie versions of that. Like so I've seen the first Hunger Games and most of the second one, and I thought it was pretty boring. But I was also young when I watched this, maybe that's why. But like I haven't seen any of the Harry Potter movies, so I feel like reading the books just wouldn't be like that fun. Because like I already don't like to read much, but just like watch it. But then like reading it about a movie that I didn't see would be. I know that's not the same, but yeah.
I watched The Umbrella Academy, and then I like watched both seasons in like a day or two, or no, it was like a week or two maybe. I'm not that good at binge watching. So I read or I saw both seasons, and then I went back and I like realized that there were books, so I read all 3. I think there are a couple books, but I read the first 3 because I like wanted to know what the 3rd season would be about, because the first 2 were like roughly based on the books, and like it wasn't like intentionally, it wasn't trying to be the books that much. Like they took the same basic plots and just kind of ran with them for the movie for the show for the show to make it better for TV. And I really enjoyed them, and now I'm really excited for the 3rd season.
I've read a couple books that like got adaptations, but they weren't movie adaptations. So I've read a couple that got musical adaptations. Like there were Broadway musicals based. Well, no, there's one that got a Broadway musical based on it, and that's Be More Chill. If any of you have read that book, then you probably also know about the musical. But I thought it was a very good book, and I think the musical takes it in like a different direction. That's like, and I think that's an interesting way of like, that also works for movies when like the book and the movie do something like different. So like watching and reading it will give you like a different experience. Like I haven't seen the Be More Chill musical, but I've like listened to the music and like read about it and stuff like that. So I know like the story and all that. But like, yeah, like one main thing is like the endings are different. I won't talk about the endings because I don't know about like talking about spoilers for like a book or like a musical feel different than talking about them for a movie, but I'm still not going to spoil it just in case anyone wants to either read or is going to watch Be More Chill. But basically just the ending of the book and the ending of the musical is different, and I thought that was pretty interesting. Another one though, I don't know if it was a musical first or if it was a book first, but Dear Evan Hansen, I've also read that book and I have seen that musical. And there are like some differences in that. I wouldn't say the differences are as big as like in Be More Chill, but like there are some like differences to the story. And that's just like, I don't know, those are all like interesting, seeing like reading the book and then watching the movie or watching the musical or whatever adaptation it gets, and seeing like how they've made changes and like and just all that kind of stuff.
Dear Evan Hansen, one of those rare cases where it got a musical, then I got a book, and then they were like, how about a movie but starring the same guy? Like, just it'll work. And then his face kind of looked weird, and they were like, yeah, let's make him like look 15, and then they didn't do it correctly.
I guess it did get like a movie adaptation. I forgot about that. The whole Dear Evan Hansen movie is a topic for another episode.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
And I want to go back to Jurassic Park because it's interesting to me because the opening of Jurassic Park 2 is crammed into like the first few chapters of this book. Like, I don't know, and I see why they kept that opening for the start of Jurassic Park 2. Also, like the first like couple chapters like of the like start of this book in the film are explained in a couple lines of dialogue, and you understand it. I just found that really fascinating. Like Michael Crichton, the author, took like 2 chapters and it's explained in a couple lines of dialogue in the film, which I think it's interesting that movies can shorten books' plots while also keeping the similar plot points still in there.
Mm-hmm. I think a book that I plan to read now that I've seen the movie is the book that 2001: A Space Odyssey was based on, and only kind of.
The book?
There was a book that came out before, like a few years before they made a movie out of it. It was called The Sentinel, and that is the story of part of the movie. I think it's the Jupiter mission section with Hal, but it also might be the first part with the one dude whose name I forget on the space station and on the moon, but I don't remember. But I know part of the movie is based on the book, and I think I do want to go back and read that. I do like when a movie does make me want to go back and read the source material, because I think that's happened a couple times. But actually, it's happened a couple times where I say, oh, I want to go and read the book now, and yeah, I'll get around to it eventually. I'll probably read the Sentinel at some point, maybe.
Yeah, Finn?
Can you explain what 2001: A Space Odyssey is about? Because I've like, everyone talks about it every now and then, but like I've never known what it's about.
I don't think you can explain it.
Okay,
I
I got
watched
you.
Brannick's YouTube video on it, but Brannick will explain.
All right, go outside, look up at night, and then just imagine like a spaceship, and then just stand there for 2.5 hours, and then you've seen 2001: A Space Odyssey.
That movie sounds boring.
It is boring, and I love it.
I wanna.
When Brannick was telling me about it, he told me that there is a sequence that is just a 10-minute sequence that is just colors flashing on the screen. And that's when I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna watch that one.
I wanna touch on like when books that are made like years prior to the films, and I'm gonna talk about Bond, but this really does apply. Like the original like first like set of Bond books were written the late 50s, early 60s, or even like prior to that. And I would like to go back and read those like first set of books, but I would have like the movies in mind. Like it'd be really hard to like not imagine like Sean Connery or Daniel Craig like as Bond. Like you would kind of have to like switch off your brain and read them as if that there hasn't been movies. And I think the reason why the Bond films have done so well is that they've adapted to the times where like the books were written. I'm assuming like in like a similar time spans, like everything is kind of similar, which makes a lot of other like book like adaptations of books different, is because they're made in a different time, which like I think I'm rambling, but you guys get my point.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Would you consider like the Marvel and DC movies movie adaptations of books? Because technically they're based on the comics.
Yeah.
That's a loaded
That's
question.
stretching it thin, but yes.
I would say kind of. I know that there are certain movies that are.
The thing is with Marvel. Oh, I'm sorry, Brandon.
I know there are certain movies that are more heavily based on their respective comic books, and then there's movies like Guardians of the Galaxy, which just have the same name. But like, I don't know. It's kind of. I feel like basically the Marvel comics, which I don't know much about because there's like 800 of them. That is a rough that's underselling it. There's much more than that, but there's like 8 billion of them, and then the MCU is kind of like its own separate thing in my mind, and I think in the mind of also the people who are making the movies. So I feel like, I mean, some of the storylines, like obviously, like Infinity War is based off of like the comics, kind of. Like, go figure. Thanos was in the comics, who would have guessed, and he snaps his fingers at one point, and I won't spoil it, but
you haven't, if you don't know what happens by now, what are you even doing here?
It came out in what, 2018 or 2017? I mean,
in all fairness, we did give a spoiler warning for Harry Potter, which came out longer ago,
and kind of Bond.
Oh. But here's the thing, though. I feel like everyone knows that Thanos did his thing.
That was like that was a snap heard around the world. If you successfully dodged all spoilers for Infinity War and Endgame, you're very lucky, because I sure didn't.
Yeah, if you missed all spoilers up till now, and then you just happen to be one of the 100 subscribers that watches this podcast, like one of the 20 people that view this each week, I'm sorry.
Oh no, no. Yeah, I when 2 years ago, Mandalorian season 2 final episode dropped, I was trying so hard to avoid spoilers, and I'm not gonna spoil it on here, obviously, but I did a great job of avoiding spoilers. And the one time I go to scroll on Instagram or YouTube, I see the spoiler, and I'm like, that's fun. The one time I want to go on Instagram, that's fun.
Yeah.
All right.
I remember for Endgame, literally like the day it came out, or no, it was either the day it came out or like the day. No, okay, so it was the day, but it was like in the morning when me and my friends were all still at school, so we hadn't seen it by that point. And So my friend decides to do this funny joke where he goes online and looks up the ending to the comic and then tells me about it. So I knew like before, like he hadn't even seen it yet. He just didn't care. So spoilers for Endgame. I'll give you like 5 seconds to get off.
There's no need.
Yeah.
You know the
All right. So anyways, he like went online, did like first class of the day. I'm like, I think I'm gonna go, like I'm gonna see Endgame soon. He was like, okay, and then he like looked it up and it was just like, by the way, Iron Man dies. So like it wasn't exactly like that, but he just like I remember him looking it up and he told me that Iron Man died. And rather than being mad, I thought that was more funny than
Yeah,
like
I had a play the night that Endgame came out. And like the play was like the first couple nights we were like sold out. The last night, which was the night Endgame came out, we had like maybe a third of the people that were there the first 2 nights.
Wait, Finn, I think we're talking about the same show.
We are. You were in that
We
one.
are.
is it
Yeah.
Oliver?
Yes, it was all over.
Say its name. Ah,
Doesn't
Michael.
matter.
Ah,
I mean,
dang
I
it.
was proud of that show.
Grr.
But
Right.
yeah, I remember people saying that they were gonna go at like 1 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah,
like go see it. And I was like, oh, that's fun. I'll see it in like 2 weeks.
Oh, poor Finn.
so sad, man. I was just like, dang it.
Brannick, what were you saying earlier?
Oh, like I remember. I have no idea.
I'm sorry, Brannick.
Said a lot earlier. What was I saying at the moment?
Brannick,
I don't know. You were like, it looked like you might have been about to say something, but then we switched over to like spoilers.
Well, the people who can rewind the episode will figure out what I was going to say. They won't get the rest, mind you, because I can't do that. But
Yeah.
if you think it up, I will gladly continue running my mouth. But until then, we can keep going.
Hey guys, put it in the comments down below and we'll talk about it next episode.
You know, this has been a very
Sure.
interesting episode. We like started off with like getting mad about blue raspberry ice. And now we're here. I'm wearing a tie. I'm all fancy, talking about Marvel. So it went from very chaotic to very civilized. How did that
Oh, I
happen?
have a thing. So reason why I think that a movie based on a book can be more coherent than a movie roughly based on a comic book is that comic books you can all have your separate opinions of. I think they're kind of incoherent, and I feel like a book is much more like centered and focused, and the movie can kind of take from that. While Marvel has a billion or so comic books to choose from, and it's kind of overwhelming. And I feel like when they just adapt a book, it's much more centered and focused, and they have like a base, like a base line to start on.
A billion or so.
There's probably more than that.
There are 27,000, you goober.
Stanley probably had another like 209.
Yeah, there's like 800 coming. That's a good estimation, Brannick.
Thanks, Brannick. Thanks, past Brannick. Brayton, riddle me this. Have you ever read a Marvel comic?
Nope, and I really don't want to.
That's what I thought. Michael, how about you?
Nope.
Hey, Brannick, have you ever read a Marvel comic?
I don't really care.
Me either.
Oh, I just exposed you. Take that. Drop the
None of us were
Right.
claiming to. None of us were claiming that.
Yeah.
No one said we were.
Let me have this. My dad, he like really liked comic books as a kid, and now we have this like huge bin of like old like Marvel comics.
I mean, do I collect comics for the backgrounds of my videos? Yeah, but I don't read any of them. It's just for a piece to have in the background.
Wait a
Yeah,
second.
but, like,
Hold on. You're a
No.
movie fanatic, not comic. That makes
Well,
no
I think
sense.
comic books that are based off of movies.
Brayden,
Yeah,
you're
but
not
Finn is
making
talking.
any sense.
Yeah, but Finn is
I can show
talking
you
now.
them, but yeah, I do have some comic books based off of movies.
That's super cool and all, but Finn was talking though.
Sorry, Finn.
You're fine.
No, Finn, go ahead.
But yeah, all I was saying is that like my dad, it was something like I was like going through his comic book collection. I found like, what if Spider-Man joined the Fantastic Four? And I read it. And then I went online and Marvel had just announced the series What If? And I was like,
And you brought that into reality.
You did.
That show, it was all you.
Yes, it was.
oh my goodness, guys. That's crazy.
Finn's like his own Marvel superhero, the guy that reads comics and is like, that would make a good show. And then the show
Guys, I can
happens.
become a superhero really quick. Watch this. Okay, I'm gonna show you.
I'm Tie Guy.
Maybe. Probably.
Guess what
Oh,
superhero
he's
I am?
like, the
Captain America.
Batman.
You guys
Classic.
are both bad. Who am I?
Classic.
Oh,
Thor.
Super Batman. Super.
Oh, yeah.
Classic.
Tommy boy.
Classic
Super
green
duper
dot.
Batman.
That's my boy Daniel. Hey, Daniel.
Hey, Daniel.
Annie. My
Hey,
boy.
Danny, my boy. My
He's
boyfriend.
He's the flashlight man. Up, and
Oh.
away. Flashlight.
We should get to the trivia answers.
No.
No, I like to keep guessing. I'd like to keep guessing what superhero Finn is.
Okay.
Wait,
Hmm.
did you get the 10?
Is he Harry Potter?
Yeah, you got it.
my
Nice.
God.
Now I'm like someone guy.
Wait, is the episode over? There's no way.
Well, we have 10 minutes left.
Well, we could wait a little more. Trivia doesn't take 10 minutes. Give it 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
5 more minutes of talking.
Come
All
on.
right, with five. We got 5 fun
5
minutes.
minutes of
fun
guessing.
5.
Okay, how about now? Who do you think I am now?
Batman.
No, wait, this is not what I meant.
Are you Batman?
Not what I had in mind.
Close.
Craig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Greg from Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Greg
That's
Heffling.
my
Oh,
favorite
Dude, Diary of
superhero.
a Wimpy Kid is a horrible movie.
Ooh, but
That was such a bad.
we can't bring that up in the last 5 minutes because that's another that could be another topic for another episode.
Guys, next episode is going to be called Diary of a Wimpy Kid's a
No,
bad
it's-
movie.
I don't
Brayden
think I would
just-
ever watch that movie.
You should. It's bad. It's a fun
Oh
way
my
to
God,
have
there
a.
is one.
Wait,
It's
it's a
fun-
movie adaptation of a book. And
we
a
can
bad
talk
That's a
one.
about it.
story for another
We can-
time, and
we
that's a
can
Star Wars
talk about
reference.
it.
We
We
can
can
talk about it. Yeah.
It's a fun way to have a bad time.
Hey guys, this episode is gonna be extra long because we have a lot of thoughts on Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
No,
Yeah.
that's the topic for the next episode,
I heard.
which means
I
I have to
forgot.
watch that movie. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
actually, we should wait till next episode so Brayden can watch the movie.
Yeah, Brady, go
Please.
watch the movie. We'll finish the podcast without you. Go watch it,
Yep.
and then we'll film the next
You
episode.
know, I stopped reading those books after whatever the one before the one about snow, cabin fever.
Cabin Fever.
I stopped
I
reading
think I
them right
read
after
the
you
one
get away.
prior to that one, and then I stopped reading them.
What's that, like Third Wheel?
No, it was
I
the
mean-
long haul or the one after that. I think it was the one after the long haul,
Cabin Fever is.
and then I
sick.
stopped reading them.
Cabin
The
Fever
fir-
was Cabin
That
Fever
was
was
sick.
before the long haul.
The one that comes
Then
before.
what was ever after the long haul then?
It was number 5, The Ugly Truth. I'm pretty sure at least.
No, it wasn't.
No, number 4 was The Ugly Truth. I thought.
That was Dog Days.
No, Dog Days was number 3.
That's the
No,
last
no.
straw.
Okay, so the first it goes Die With Me Kid, Roderick Rules. No, then it's The Last Straw. Then it's The Ugly Truth. Then it's Dog
No.
Days. Then it's Cabin
Days.
Fever. Then it's The Third Wheel. Then it's number
Hard Luck.
8, Hard Luck, I guess. Then it's The Long Haul. Then
Then
it's
it's
like
Get away.
the Getaway.
No, that's 12.
Then there's
Wait. Okay, so I stopped
Oh, I think you going.
reading it after the cutaway was the last one I read.
That is
You read
literally
up to The Getaway?
Well,
That's
I
like the most
kinda
recent one.
no.
think I
There's been
read up
the
to-
meltdown,
I read up to
wrecking
Double
ball, and the deep end.
Bro, Tell me. Wait. Look at that and see whether or not Dog Days comes before The Ugly Truth. So I'm right.
Ugly Truth. Dog Days comes prior to The Ugly Truth.
Dang it.
You're
frick.
bad.
No, the ugly truth is the one where he's like holding an egg. He's like looking at it. And then
That's
the
the one
last
where
straw is the one where he's like in the corner and he's like, oh no.
Yeah.
That's the one where he like goes through puberty.
Well, I kind of skipped a couple in the middle of them.
No,
But
hold on, because I know the color scheme. But Braden, what were you saying?
I read the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one, and the sixth one. I kind of read half a third wheel, and then I read all of the rest of them up through They Get Away, and then I stopped reading. I might have read all of them.
Okay, well,
I don't know if
I know it goes red, blue, green, purple, yellow. No,
I forget. That's not how it goes.
If I got the order, if I knew the order, it goes red, blue, green, I guess yellow, purple, blue, like light blue.
Yeah.
Then like another red.
Yeah.
No,
kind of
brown.
like.
Well, it's like the last straw is like a
maroon.
mix of the last straw is like a mix of red and brown.
Like
And then from
maroon.
then on, I don't.
Third wheel is a mix of red and brown.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. From
And
then
then
on,
it's lime green.
wait, give me like the title and I'll name the color.
Hard Luck.
Hard Luck is
Luck?
black.
That one's black.
That's
No,
old
it's lime green.
Lime green.
What?
Old
No, that's the one where he's like holding the boom
Old school
box.
black. The one with the
Old-
8-ball.
That's
No.
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
then
Hard Luck
has-
is green.
Hard Luck is the lime green one.
Yeah.
And
Dang it,
then
you're right.
I remember
Hard Luck
reading
has
that one.
the 8-ball and lime green. Come on, you guys don't know the lingo? And then the long
I
haul,
think
which is
the
Orange.
third wheel is the one that I think I read half of.
The long haul is orange, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
Brandon,
that's
hit us with
bad.
that trivia.
Please.
that's a good stopping point. We got through 9 of like the 14 entire.
Oh, yeah,
religion books.
Just real quick, Braden, you do have homework. You have to watch the new animated Dire Wimpy Kid movie.
I will.
It's only an
All
hour.
right.
It's perfect.
It's short. It's less than an hour.
Yeah, it's like
I'll take
50
notes.
Yeah, take notes. And I want to see your written up notes.
It's
All right,
only
Brandon,
50
hit us with
minutes.
that.
Giving him homework. This
Yeah.
is a wacky transition. I can't believe I haven't thought about the Diary of Wimpy Kid books in so much, and they were buried in my psyche, like the order of them. Anyway,
Our trivia,
All
please
right.
hurry.
trivia answers. You guys put them in the comments, I hope. And now it's these guys, these folks, they get to answer now. All right, question 1: which Mario game first had 4 distinct playable characters?
My
Anybody know?
I know it.
All right. It's, I believe, Super Mario World 3, the one that takes place like in a play. It's like a play, takes place on a stage. I think that's the third one. So Super Mario 3.
All right,
That's my
Braden.
answer.
Super Mario 3.
All right, Finn.
Now, it is
Then quickly.
It's either 3D World, which I don't think it is. Super
We have
Mario.
3 minutes.
It's either 3 or Galaxy, because I know Galaxy offers Luigi, and then that's it. So no, it's gonna be 3.
Finn, I am looking at you, looking at your phone right now.
I'm not. I'm looking at this. My phone's
Oh,
right
yeah.
here.
You can see in the mirror like a little light popping up from.
Yeah, because of this. Look.
No, but
All right,
I believe.
Okay,
Finn
guys, we have 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Okay,
I
promise
believe.
it's my ring.
I believe Finn wasn't cheating because he said Mario Galaxy was the answer. And that does,
Yeah, that's wrong. I don't think I don't know if you could even play as Luigi in Mario 3, but the answer was Super Mario Brothers 2, the American version, not the Japanese version. That's a whole thing. But you could play as Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad.
Is that the one that takes
Like
place on a
SeaWorld.
stage?
No,
Mm.
you're thinking
All right, 2.
Mario 3.
All right, now we have to go quickly.
Go
All right.
Quickly, guys.
Which planet of our solar system is the hottest?
Venus.
The sun.
Mars.
The
All
sun.
right, the sun is not a planet, and Venus is the correct answer.
I knew
already
it.
said-
All right, this is a quick one. Which horror movie has the tagline, "It doesn't think, it doesn't feel, it doesn't give up"?
Great, and that's all
Fairly
you.
It sounds okay. Can you tell me this?
The
Is it
birds.
is it an older movie?
The birds.
No, I just said it's a fairly recent one.
Oh, it's not
Fairly
the bird.
recent.
The Quiet Place.
That's one guess.
Alien 2. Aliens.
All right.
All right. We have 1 minute, Brayden. Let's go.
I don't know. I really don't know.
It's It Follows from 2014. Really good movie.
Oh.
Less than a minute. Hit us with
Less than a
those.
minute.
Wait, updates. Go.
Updates. I'm making a video
Fun
this
stuff
weekend.
coming soon.
Okay. Bye, guys. This has been Finn from the Movie Fanatics signing off.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, we can just run out the timer, honestly, I would say. So
We
let's just see
could.
what happens.
Bye.